Imagine yourself living in a society divided into four major classes. One class may comprise the Islamic scholars, the other class determines the elites, the third class, the middle one, and the last class is the lower middle class or the poor class of the society. If you have committed a crime or a sin according to the justice and peace system of that country, you will be dealt with your crime or your sins according or varying on the fact that from which class do you belong. If you are an Islamic scholar in that country, you will just be given an advice, a lenient and polite advice. And if you belong to the elite class, maybe some summons and then an advice. If you belong to the middle class, for the same crime or sin, you may face penalties, you may face some huge imprisonment. And if you belong to the extremely lower strata of that society, that is the lower middle class or the proletariat class, you will be dealt with because of your crime, because of your sin. You will be dealt with it as per their peace and justice system. Either you will be imprisoned, you will have this corporal or capital punishment. Now, we are talking today about the anarchical and chaotic structure of Afghanistan as the criminal code's code of procedure has been unfolded by the Taliban Chief Justice and has been signed by their Amir Hibatullah Akhundzada. And secondly, the beating of children is also allowed to a greater extent. Article 30 and Article 48 of the newly reformed this criminal code's code of procedure has and does prohibit beating the children, but only in two cases: if their bones get fractured or if their skin is teared apart. Only in that case, the offender, the violator, the sexual violator could be punished and could be held accountable. Except that a father may punish, a father may beat or kill to death his son, his 10 years old son, if he is neglecting prayers. Repeatedly and more importantly, in Article 4 and Article 15 of the codes of this criminal code's code of procedure that has been authenticated and unfolded by the Rawadari and International Human Rights Organization has said that these two articles also are enough to determine and to recognize slavery. If somebody has committed a crime, it is upon the discretionary power of the authorities of your opponents to decide what to do with you. We can finally conclude by telling you the relevance with the people of Pakistan as far as this anarchical development of Afghanistan is concerned. Number one, the contagious borders of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Afghanistan. The sins that are being legalized, the crimes that are being legalized could have a direct impact in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa that is a greater part of Pakistan. Secondly, Afghan Taliban, mostly their thought process, their orthodox approach emanates from the Hanafi school of thought, and any school of thought that is besides Hanafi are considered to be heretics or innovators. That is making a huge discrimination within Islam, the same religion that is shared by the people of Afghanistan and that is shared by the people of Pakistan. Finally, and most importantly, that these major factors that have been now incorporated and ultimately they are going to be implemented of these criminal code of procedure, they are in clear violation of the international standards of human rights, and thus these factors contribute greatly that this topic is highly relevant to the people of Pakistan, to the state of Pakistan, and Afghanistan's anarchical and chaotic structure will ultimately lead them into a dark era where they will be unable to pull out. Thank you.